Hello, greetings. This is Ignacio. I thought I'd come and say hello. Wish you a really good day. Today is Monday of Pentecôte. I was running and jogging, and here in France, I think it is a holiday because 90% of the stores are closed. I didn't know that. I'm a bit disconnected sometimes from the collective, the earthly program. For a very long time, I've been on my spiritual path for about 30 years, for a very long time. And originally, I was an art dealer in Los Angeles, Santa Fe in New York, and I was really very happy. But then I discovered spirituality, and I started painting, and I became like an hermit in some sense. Now I feel like I need to reintegrate this program. God will reintegrate me into the program of reality of humanity in order to serve, but also to enjoy my life. And so hopefully I will be able to soon return to this first career, first profession of being a gallery dealer. For this is really what I enjoyed the most in terms of work that will include, of course, my own work. For when I had my galleries, I did not have all my paintings. I was showing other people's painting, but now I have my own work, and I will be able to show art that I like also. I'm going to pull a few cards for this coming week. For past, present, and future is only one energy. What's in the present was created in the past, and what's creating in where we create in the present will manifest in the future. So it's always good to look at past, present, future as one integrated whole. For the past is determination. The present is generosity, and the future is, for this week, is the mission. So we're going to be aligned with our mission. We're going to be it is all part of the process. What we're working on is family, is to reconnect to our family. For I know I have a personal relationship that is coming to me that is going to be very changing, transformational. Deep relationship that will last for the rest of my life, and so it is a family relationship. But we want to connect to our family, our soul group, those people that resonate on the same frequency level that we are, and the outcome will be reparation. We're going to be able to repair, to restore, to realign all those paths for our own personal life, as well as assisting the world in finding this balance and this equilibrium. And so I'm going to speak about a few different little subjects. I also wanted to say that sometimes I see in French media, I'm sure it's still the same in America, but as soon as you start speaking about extraterrestrials or archangels or angels, you're completely insane. It means that they do not take you seriously. They believe that, or maybe they have an agenda that they need to put this energy down in order to maintain these lower programs. Some people know, some people don't, but every astronaut and most military pilots know that they are extraterrestrial. They have showed up on the radars, and so all government know that. But on the media, they will discredit anybody that believes that there could be higher intelligence in the universe. That should not be distracting us from nurturing this connection to our higher self. For eventually the veil will fall, and those who did not believe, did not prepare themselves for that, may be really shocked at this prospect. For we do not want to be distracted. It is good to continue to cultivate spiritual ideals, yet to be connected to the present and realist in relationship to what can be done in relationship to the consciousness of our time and space. For depending on what time we incarnate, it's the beginning of the 21st century, so the consciousness is on that level of that. So we have to accept that. For Ascension, in a sense, Ascension is mainly the awakening to the truth of who we are, this God self, this eternal spirit, this soul, this eternal being of light and love that we truly are inside of us. And this is the whole process of Ascension is part of that. It is to understand we are pure spirit, but once we will be regaining this power of God, those divine powers will begin to manifest. I recommend be a benevolent God. For the powers those powers were ignited in many souls on Atlantis, but there were many abuse of powers. So now there is the spiritual hierarchies have put limitations. Then we gain power only when we achieve enough benevolence. For even in the past, we can see the gods of mythologies were beings, that extraterrestrials that realized that the unification with their God self, but then they were still, when they integrated the Earth matrix, and as you know from mythology, there was a power struggle for domination of the plan of the matrix. Eventually they find stabilization. So it's about being benevolent and to understand you and your Father are one. So the Christ revealed that. He knew that he was one with God, and you are one with God. There's no need to pray to external God. For of course there is higher planes, but those higher planes are connected to you. You're praying to your higher self, to your God self, and because when people believe that they're praying to someone that's separated from them, it's nurturing this separation, and it's just that there will be a mirror on the astral plane that will reflect this illusion, but they will not be able to achieve this ascension. So it's because all is one and one is all. And understanding that the message is always more important than the messenger. It's not about the ego or the form, it is about the content of what is being expressed and how it can be used. Or we have a double life. Everybody's got a double life. As human beings, when we sleep, we lay down our body and our consciousness goes somewhere. We do not know where, but it's going somewhere. We cannot surround our consciousness. Once we'll be ascended, we'll no longer need to sleep. We'll no longer need to eat. We'll draw life force from the prana, from the life force. But the physical body still needs some kind of nourishment until it will be completely crystalline. But when we dream, we have this... when we sleep, we have this other life where we can do so many other things, and but we are not allowed to remember. But we can do so much because we are not handicapped by the physical parameters of the ear and the critical mind. So there is a lot of work that we do. That's why sometimes we wake up in the morning, we're tired. It's because we've been really busy doing things. Sometimes you say, I want to rest tonight, and I want to wake up in total. I don't want to do too much out there. And so the dreams is a means by which we communicate. Our higher self can send us message when we dream. It's an experimentation plane, also the fourth dimension. Sometimes we go to test out things, to experiment things that we couldn't. And other people that are part of our dreams are usually just an extension of ourselves. They're not the actual other souls that are. It's not a means by which to communicate with other souls. Sometimes it can be, but it's usually just a reflection. We're just projecting them to fulfill a mirror image. So it's good to take notes of our dreams. There is some very significant dream. It's also good to work on creating a pyramid of light above in the higher planes, so we can let our consciousness go there. It's like a sanctuary that we learn to go, where only our guides and whoever invited the company of heaven we invite can be part of that. We can make this, you can expand in your vision, you visualize it, you create it, and the more you cultivate this vision, the more this pyramid of light will become real for you, and you will be able to eventually communicate and do much work with your guides and all the spirits. So we want to make this, it's like a crystal pyramid, and it can be this pyramid can be can ascend from level to level, and it's connected to the cities of light also that are part of the celestial administration. That's where the world is regulated, from those cities of light. Another aspect that is important to envision or is to live a life that's more ceremonial, like Aboriginal or primitive people. We call them primitive, but they are not so primitive. They are more connected to the nature of the earth, and so they live a life that's much more ceremonial. And so it's good to utilize certain ceremonies. For ceremonies, it's like it assists us in releasing all kinds of things. But we cannot achieve perfection in the third and fourth dimension. There will always be polarity and duality, like in the Kybalion, the Hermetic Principles. I recommend, if you haven't read this book, the Kybalion, put on YouTube, it must be there. But as perfection is attained, our consciousness rises to the first level of unification, which is the fifth dimension. We will also want to connect to the great central sun of the universe. For this great central sun is a great sphere of divine white light. It is the source of all manifestation. It holds everything together. And as we envision it, we can draw power from it, and we can bring this prana into our life, this life force that is directly this very pure form of life. And it's what sustains all life in the universe. It's what gives power to the central suns of the galaxies, that gives the power to the suns, that gives power to the planets, that creates the air and the physical body. And because we live in between the physical matter of the earth, we're made of this material aspect of the earth, and we have the light of the sun that is also, it is we are the combination. We live between heaven and earth, heaven and hell, sometimes, but. So we want. It is important to understand that we're removing all kinds of impurities, and we have to do that with love, patience, and perseverance. We want to take one step at a time, and work with your higher self, with your soul, to achieve self-mastery. We are part of something. When we move into the spiritual ascension process, we realize we are contributing to something that's far greater than us. We are connected to us in terms of consciousness, individual consciousness. It is beyond anything we can conceive, and we are participating. It is the collective vision of those utopist dreams of reality, this paradise vision that all the light workers, the star seeds have been creating through the decades, that is making now possible this shift that is coming, this great event. And so for a lot of those ideas, like I said, are not really taken very seriously, but sooner or later they're gonna be, and we're gonna realize this was really because this lifetime was given as there is really the potential to achieve self-mastery and liberation, but only when someone chooses it. We have to choose that. So I know that soon I will be reconnected to the Earth plane. I will be there is a slow, but I feel like I fulfill. I have traversed all the 7 cycles of consciousness. It's just my physical cleansing. That my physical body needs to catch up with my consciousness and my enlightenment. This is really what's left. So God always shows me sort of many things, and I'm like, yeah, I want to get there, but it's like so. It's a complete your cleansing, but even though when we talk about extraterrestrial, we may not be taken seriously, we may be even outside it or whatever, but it's really meaningful, and everybody will realize the significance of understanding, because we're here to prepare this first contact. Once the first contact will have happened, the whole planetary shift will change. Illness will disappear, poverty will disappear, the environmental destruction will disappear, and so it is important to continue to do that. As an artist, my master guide told me, as an artist, people can almost accept the idea of extraterrestrial when you speak as an artist, because as an artist it's okay to be eccentric. He said if you were a dentist, and you speak about extraterrestrial, people would probably seek out another dentist because they wouldn't take you seriously, so it is yet they are here, and they've always been here. There's a kind of benevolent force, and so, but the media has not been forthcoming with that, and so we'll see what happens in the future. It is important to keep our focal point, to be conscious of the value of our focal point. It's very important, because all companies are trying to attract your focal point, to sell you things, to advertisement, publicity, the media, the news. Everybody's and you realize how important your focal point is, because everybody's trying to catch it. So stay focused on what is meaningful for you. And so choose carefully what you focus on, because whatever we focus on is where the energy flows. So focus on, when we always my friend and guide taught, Master of Wisdom says, always focus on the light, whatever that means, whatever that is. The light is always the higher intelligence in relationship to wherever we are. It will bring us to the next level. I'm going to pull a few cards from the Akash. The highest wisdom is today is the understanding of persecution and inquisition. For in the past, there's been a great deal of inquisition. There's been a great deal of persecution. But now we want to free ourselves from that matrix. And that brings me to the idea that I need to discuss a little bit to offer a spiritual perspective. I'm not saying it is the truth, but I believe it is, though. I mean, it proposes a higher truth in relationship to certain ideas. And one of them is in relationship to abortion. There is a certain state in America that are really regressing in spiritual consciousness in trying to criminalize. It's like for the Vatican is really not in alignment with a lot of things are disaligned, and so. Also with this idea of course we don't want to, so I just want to bring to express a spiritual perspective on that. For we do not want to say that we are for abortment. We want people to continue to have children and family and grow. But it's a sovereign right that everybody has the right to choose what they do with their physical body, and nobody should impose that on you. It's like or on anybody. So it is even from a spiritual point of view, the soul has only the commitment to a lifetime is only happens at the time of birth. Of course, the soul comes in, and some souls will choose to spend a lot of time in the process of maturing the fetus to create a bond with the mother. Sometimes the soul comes and goes. The soul is not limited to physicality, but the engagement, the engagement to the soul, to the physical reality, is only at the time of the birth. So it's like there is really no prejudice in cosmic. There is absolutely no prejudice to any soul when it comes to create an abortion. It's just each person person has to be ready to become a parent and has to choose it. So because the Vatican is not sometimes I don't mean to. I want to stay kind, but it's like they're telling you that abortion is a murder, and then homosexuals are criminals against God. But pedophilia is like a sacred right of the priest. It's like homosexuality has always been. It's love. It can be to men, to women, a man and a woman. It's perfectly natural. It's love. It's love. And there is no prejudice. And the same thing with abortion, but although pedophilia is a perversion, is a mental illness, and so that should. But eventually, everything will be realigned, and I don't mean to be unkind in relationship to the church, but I just wanted to say that from my own perspective, I don't want to encourage abortion, but I want to say that there is everybody's the right to choose is far more important than the trying to impose this inquisition. It's part of Inquisition, and so as we discovered, we free ourselves from this Inquisition and persecution. We find Greco-Roman. If we return to our power, to the truth of ourselves, to this great power, the divine power. Know yourself, know thyself. To thy own self be true, but know thyself, nothing more. For this oracle of Delphi was first the oracle of Gaia, then it became the oracle of Zeus, then it became the oracle of Apollon, which essentially is one force, one divinity, one great energy of spirit, but it's those beings are connected to their higher presence, to their soul, to their spirit, and they are one, they are gods. And so this is also who we are, and so they're here as astrological influences to bring us back to this understanding that we have to be sovereign over any external force in order to free ourselves from any form of persecution on the outside world. Once we rise in our spirit, we align with the law, we become free and sovereign, and we'll be able to disengage from any old program. And then we have to forgive the past also, because there's been a lot of darkness in relationship to what's been imposed by religious groups or whatever. They've been through a lot of darkness, like Inquisition. What we need to understand is growth, for we are growing. All of the past is gone in reality, and it was just a matter of bringing us to the progress that we were seeking. What we have to do is to address our fear, to be fearless in relationship to our fear. The only thing to fear is fear itself. I think it was Sun Tzu, The Art of War. That's a great book of wisdom. Although it's a brutal book, it's a very wise book as well. And so, as we address our fear, we can send love into those parts of ourselves that are still in fear. The fear will disappear, and then we'll find the baby. We'll find this rebirth. And the outcome is the Amerindian, is the ability to live in a way that's more ceremonious, to not hurt the environment. For the Indians lived for thousands and thousands of years, and they had no environmental impact. They were very, very connected to this world. We all had past life with the American Indians. I have some memories of my lives with them, and it's like it was very peaceful, really wonderful lives. And essentially it's also about America. It's like the forces of the condor and the forces of the eagle have to fly together rather than to be in opposition. So a lot will be revealed in the times to come, but we want to, so it will be the outcome to whatever those may mean something different for you. Of course, it's just I'm interpreting it in relationship to what I'm getting in the moment in relationship to my own conditioning, for we are all different. And so, well, I hope this message was interesting for you. These paintings behind me, this is a symbolic painting of the great universe of dark matter, of Nebadon. It's our own local universe. It is a star cloud with millions of stars. And over 6 million inhabited planet. Eventually there will be 10 million inhabited planets once it will be fully developed. For it is a young universe, and eventually when all the planets are developed and the whole universe raises in light and light, it will come out of the lower circuits and establish itself in light and life around the great central sun of the Milky Way galaxy. And so here is the center, is the world Salvington. Those are celestial world, invisible world, and there is 100 constellations. Our own constellation is called Edantia. It's constellation number 70, and there was 100 constellations. Each constellation has 100 system, and the system is called Satania. Jerusalem is the center world, and each system is the administration world for about 1,000 inhabited planet. Our planet is number 606 in the system of Satania, and it's called Urantia. And this is I really like this painting. It's powerful. For those paintings are very deep, very profound, but they're very advanced in relationship to anything that's been proposed in the art world. So we'll have to find a way. Hopefully I will be able to very soon. The Spirit is saying that I will be able to return to this to open a gallery where I will be able to show and communicate on those subjects, and to utilize the art to bring this consciousness into the forefront of consciousness. And I will be able to show other people other art that I like also, and that is our line, or even different sort of. And this is a painting from 2005. It's got this Matisse quality to it. I kind of like it. 2 visitors in an interior. I really like Henri Matisse, one of my favorite artists, because he saw that art has to be relaxing. It was the artists in the modern art, they all had very unique philosophies, which is not necessarily the case of contemporary artists. Not much to say, they're just presenting art and that's it, presenting their thing. But Matisse saw that art had to be about more than art, and he was here to simplify art, and he created this simplification of art, and he saw that art had to be relaxing. For I like dynamic art too, as well, is when there is a dynamism, something strong, but it has to be balanced out with something that relaxes you. When you look at it, it calms you down, it makes you feel good. And so, I hope you find this video interesting. I'll finish with a song. It's a song of Eric Clapton, and it goes like this. Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven? I must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven. Would you hold my hand if I saw you in heaven? Would you help me stand if I saw you in heaven? I'll find my way through night and day, 'cause I know I just can't stay here in heaven. Time can bring you down, time can bend your knees, time can break your heart, have you begging please, begging please. Behind the door there's peace, I'm sure, and I know there'll be no more tears in heaven. Would you know my name If I saw you in heaven, would it be the same? If I saw you in heaven, I must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven. 'Cause I know I don't belong here in heaven. Well, thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day, this Monday of Pentecôte. I wish you, I thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.